Fans, this is Ben Deathridge. Guess what? We are getting back up to speed with me. Our next guest, he's a teenager out of Oakley, California. Pilots the potent Dave and Debbie Vertulo number 83V. We're talking about Dylan Bloomfield in this return episode. Be sure and hit the like button and the subscribe button, whether on YouTube or all the listening platforms. So let's dive into this episode after these messages from our wonderful sponsors. This broadcast is brought to you by Meat Freaks Jerky Club. Get the best jerky the world has to offer straight to your door by visiting meatfreaksjerkyclub.com. Pick your box and plan, tell them where to ship, and receive and enjoy. Log on to meatfreaksjerky.com and use promo code SPEED. Are you looking for bookkeeping, payroll, or income tax services? Then check out the folks at For You Simple Bookkeeping. They are a licensed tax preparer throughout the entire United States. For more information, click on the link in the description. Dave's Home Supply specializes in cabinets, flooring, and countertops. Visit their website at daveshomesupply.com to look at products, services, financing, and even a free estimate. Well, in this return episode for Getting Up to Speed, we're going to talk to a young gentleman who is really turning some heads, and that's Dylan Bloomfield. Dylan, great to have you on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, Dylan, for those of you that don't know who you were prior to 2023 and even 2022, I think that they're getting a good idea of what exactly you're capable of. You've been in full-size sprint cars for a number of years, but in the wing sprint cars, really starting to log some good laps and get some good results.
Yeah, it's been a good past year this year. Kind of started the show a little bit there at the end of last year after Trophy Cup. Kind of figured some stuff out, and I think I'm starting to get a little bit better, and just with like the speeds and stuff of these wing cars, and knowing how wing works and stuff like that on track. But from when we started to now, I'd say we've progressed pretty well.
Now, you come from Oakley, which is known for some hard-hitting IMCA modified racers. Kellen Chadwick, Brian Pierce, Andrew Pierce, and some other notable drivers have come from that part of the quote-unquote East Bay. And for a sprint car guy like yourself, you're kind of the exception versus the rule when it comes to drivers that take that route.
Yeah, I think it's cool or whatever because I'm friends with all those guys and Kellen and everybody, and I think it's a good thing that I'm a sprint car driver because now, you got fans out here. I'm kind of like, locally, everyone kind of knows me locally, which is cool, and they kind of got a variety of drivers. So when I'm at Antioch or whatever, like they could pick, their favorite modified driver, and then they can pick their favorite sprint car driver, and it's cool because there's a lot of fans from right around here too. So, yeah.
Well, and of course, there's some others that have kind of, I think, Sean Arriaga's from that area, Joey Ancona from nearby Concord, where Damian Gardner was from, and Billy Aton from Benicia, just across the bay.
Yep.
So yeah, it seems like East Bay racing is kind of on the up when it comes to sprint car drivers when you think about it, and that's a really cool thing.
No, yeah, for sure. There's the guys from down south that are really good and stuff too, but it's cool to have all these people right around here that are doing well in sprint car racing, and it's pretty cool because we're all pretty big families, so we hang out a lot, and just the racing community is pretty great.
Now, the first time I saw you was the COVID year, and you were racing in the wingless ranks at Antioch, and I think it was even a Joe Hunt wingless series race that I saw you. And I believe that was your first year in a non-wing car, and please correct me if I'm wrong with that statement.
Yeah, we ran non-wing stuff there for only 1 year, so that was my first year in a non-wing car, and it was definitely a learning curve going from a micro sprint straight to a sprint car, but yeah, it was fun.
And then you guys were in your family car at that time, so 2020. Mm-hmm. And then I believe maybe it was later that year, perhaps 2021. And again, correct me if I'm wrong here. You guys hooked up with a guy from just outside Walnut Creek, Dave Johnson, right? Ran some of his stuff for a little bit.
Yeah, yep, and that's kind of it started in Spectrum stuff. We ran our family car, and then he kind of came on board at the end of the year, and we worked out a deal to go race with him for a little bit, and we raced his wing car. We built a wing car at our shop, and we raced his wing car for I think about half a season, and then we raced a little bit of spec sprint stuff with him. And then we kind of split ways, but he still helped us, and it was great having him on the car. He helped us with our family car and stuff like that, just helping us get started. So it was cool. So we got to work with him kind of the rest of the year, and he just was a big supporter that whole year.
Clayton, that's the town he was from. I had to Google map it for a second. So just kind of wedged in between Concord and Walnut Creek. And here's kind of a cool connection is my late wife was good friends with Dave Johnson. And because somebody that was driving for him at the time, Clint Simpson, was from Santa Rosa, where she was from. So I've spent a lot of time with Dave before, and he is a really nice guy. And you guys actually, he's predominantly a non-wing fan, but you guys actually did some wing racing, right?
Yeah, we got the wing race with him, which was cool. And I at first he was kind of like hesitant about it or whatever, but he knew. I think he knew that's kind of how just to be on the West Coast, you had to be running a wing car, to be competitive and actually kind of get your name out there. So I think the spec sprint stuff is great. It's definitely growing a lot. Like I think just their local shows are getting, at least 20 cars now. So it's pretty cool. Where when we first started, we were only getting like 12. So now all these guys from like even micro sprints and stuff are getting the spec sprints and starting to race them because they're a little bit cheaper. But I think it's something good to start out in before you go wing car racing.
And then fast forward to what it would have been about summer 2022. You get the call up from Dave and Debbie Vertulo to be in the 83 V car. How did that kind of come about from your recollection, and just take us through those? That had to be an exciting moment to get that phone call or get that offer.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I got to actually I kind of reached out to Dave, just kind of put my name out there just so he knew I'm always open for it or whatever. And a couple months later he called me, and I think it was around August or something. He called me and was like, "Hey, let's meet up and meet or whatever, and I'll show you the shop and stuff." So we went over there and he showed me the shop, and we kind of got to talking or whatever, and it was cool. But he had a driver kind of already set to race for him for most of the year, and I don't know what happened, but I think just kind of they separated or whatever, and we next thing you know, he was like, "Hey, let's let's get you in the car and race a couple races just here at the end of the year." So I went over there and I bust my ass just to make sure that we were able to. He knows I'm wanting to work hard and wanting to go racing as much as we can. So we got to go race Placerville and Ocean for like the first couple weekends. I think we probably ran like 10 shows or something there at the end of the year, I think, and we did well. We went and ran Trophy Cup, which was cool, and the whole team, we all really gelled really well, so it was super cool, and yeah.
Well, and was there any moment, perhaps at the very first there, that there was kind of this nervousness of this is not just a ride that this is just not any other ride. There's been several drivers that have done well in this thing. Kyle Larson notably, kind of put him on the map as his first kind of sprint car ride. And there's been some others as well that have wheeled the 83V car.
No, yeah, I think there was definitely a little bit of pressure on me at first, it felt like. But the second I went out there and ran with them, like my first ever race with them, it was just like, they brought me in like family. It was super cool. Dave and Debbie, they're great people, and I think we all work really well as a team too. So that just helps even more. So yeah.
And 2023, you guys have partook in a lot of 410 sprint car races, actually entering the Howard Kading Classic, 6th in NARC 410 Sprint Car Series points. How much of an adjustment has that been for you coming from the 360 ranks?
Oh, it's definitely been crazy. Just from a 360 to a 410, the horsepower is crazy feeling when you first get in one. So we ran with Gary Silva for a second in 2022, couple races, and I got to run a 410, just get my feet wet in the 410. And it was definitely a whole nother like experience / ball game. I mean, it was crazy. And then everybody that you race with has a little bit more respect, it seems like, because you're going a little bit more fast. It's a lot more faster than the 360s. It feels like. So I don't know. I mean, I think that the 410 now, it seems like it's almost a little bit easier to drive the 410 than the 360, because you go from just the speeds now. Like, I'm so used to it. When you go to the 360, you got to drive a 360 so much harder than the 410, it feels like. So it's just super weird to jump back and forth. But now we're running both cars like every weekend. We're racing 360 and 410s almost every weekend. So I'm getting used to running both cars, just going from, each speed or whatever. So, yeah, it's been fun, and I think I'm getting a little better than 410 now this year. And yeah.
Well, and yeah, touching on the 360s, I think you and we had an interview with Inside NARC about, gosh, you've gotten like 4 podiums, and they've all been third places, and I think 1 at Placerville and 3 at Ocean for sure. You guys, third spot seems to be like your number this year. However, it just seems like a matter of time before 2 and 1 will also be cashed in on the result sheet.
Yeah, and I think the third place just seems becoming a little bit easier and easier as we go. But of course, we want to be finishing first and second. But at the same time, you can't complain. I mean, a third place will also win the championships at the end of the year. So we want to win, and we're trying, but it doesn't always work out in your favor, especially when you have the redraws and stuff. You can sometimes get screwed in those redraws. But I think we're if we one night when we can qualify good, heat race good, and maybe get a good redraw, we could maybe pull off a win.
Well, and Dylan, what would you say has been the most craziest thing so far in 2023? I mean, for me, I would assume it'd be the fastest 4 days in motorsports, 4 races in 4 days at 4 different racetracks, of none of which you'd been at, and then the whole Dirt Cup swing. Is that kind of correct? Is one of the things that's been kind of the trickiest things for this year?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the fastest 4 days was super cool, because I got to race a bunch of different racetracks I've never ran at before, and but I think the top thing right now that's been crazy is the Dirt Cup, because I've never ran for so much money before, and that was really cool. And just to run 12th out of whatever it was, 45 cars, 50 cars or whatever, I mean, that was a goal, just to make the main event, and to run 12th or whatever. I mean, that's pretty good goal to have, just to make the main event. And to run 12th, it was like, holy cow, this is great.
No doubt. 6 top 5s this year, 2 of which have been with NARC. 1 was during the fastest 4 days at Southern Oregon Speedway, and then most recently at Placerville, where you guys got P5. This is a really cool stat that I noted through my master stats. You've got 30 starts between 360 and 410s, 15 top 10s. Your top 10 percentage is 50%. That's incredible.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's cool.
But I mean, it just kind of shows, and keep in mind, for folks listening, you have not been in a wing sprint car for very long. I mean, that's no doubt, just by the tone of your voice, that sounds like you're kind of shocked, but also in a happy way.
No, I honestly didn't know that, so it's kind of shocking to know that. So that's pretty cool.
Well, this weekend, Howard Kading Classic, there's going to be a 360 program on Friday, and then the NARC 410 Sprint Car Series will be there on Saturday. you guys have logged in a lot of laps at Ocean this year, and you've got a lot of laps with the 410 series. It kind of seems like it's a perfect combination. Kind of keep rolling some of that on that good wave, I suppose.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I think going in the Ocean will be pretty good. We'll be running both days, and I think our 360 program at Ocean's pretty well. But Ocean's a tiny track, and I haven't really ran 410 around very small tracks except for Placerville once. So I guess we'll see how that goes, and I'm pretty excited because that track there, and sometimes it'll race really good, and sometimes it's one line. But hopefully this weekend they can get the track state pretty good, and we'll have a pretty good race.
Well, and we were talking about all these tracks being at the first time with a 410. How special was it going to Antioch that would have been end of April, right? April 29th. How special was that for you? And it was very special for you and your family.
Yeah, no, that was cool because my mom got to come to the races and stuff for the first time back in a while. So, or since her accident. So she was, it was cool because all the fans and stuff came down after her, and we signed a bunch of T-shirts, and they bought a bunch of merchandise and got to take pictures, and Mom got to say what's up to everybody and thank everyone for all the support. So it was really cool, and I think Antioch was really it was fun.
Well, and by all means, tell me, if you want to keep it private or anything, but she was in some pretty rough shape last fall, right?
Yeah, yep. Since November when the accident happened, it wasn't any good, but she's doing good now. So,
if I recall, for Antioch, there was a certain somebody with a prom dress that was looking for you. So,
yeah, my girlfriend. It was actually prom night or whatever. We had to go to junior prom, but I told her we took pictures at the beginning of the year, and I told her, I said, I won't be able to make that race. I gotta make it to this race. It's a local race, so it'll be pretty cool to go race in front of a bunch of fans. And she was like, okay, well, I thought she was going to prom or whatever, and next thing you know, her and my best friend were surprising me at rolling out for the dash that night, which is cool because we got to make the dash and everything. So it was pretty cool to see her walking up as I'm rolling out for the dash.
That's awesome. And it sounded like, according to local Antioch Speedway announcer Wiley Wade, that she's a race fan. She gets it.
Oh yeah, yep. Her whole family's a racing family. She came from BMX, and her dad raced dirt bikes and stuff with my dad and all that. So, yeah, she's a badass on a mountain or on a BMX bike. But I don't know if she knows anything about really four wheels. But yep, she's definitely a great girlfriend to have at the racetrack and just a supporter.
That's awesome. Well, 2023, we're pretty much halfway through the season. What do you guys, obviously, NARC has seemed to have been a priority for you guys, but what else are some things on your guys' checklist that you guys want to do before the year's over?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll run all the NARCs and SUCT series stuff, and then we'll run Trophy Cup, which will be cool. And I don't think we really have any like very big races. I think at the end of the year we go to end of the year, I think it's middle of November or something. We go to Arizona or something, but we don't really go out of state very much except for I guess we do have that. What is it? The Speed Week coming up in August.
Oh, Speed Week Northwest.
Yeah, 360 stuff.
Southern version. Awesome. So you guys are going to do that one?
Yeah, we're going to go run that.
Okay, yeah, and so what he's referring to is that it starts up where I'm from. Actually, it starts in my hometown, Cottage Grove, Oregon, and then they go to Douglas County Dirt Track, which was recently a pavement track, now a dirt track, Coos Bay Speedway, Southern Oregon Speedway, Silver Dollar Speedway, and then Placerville Speedway is the last night. I'm not going to be at that one because I'm going to be at the NARC race in Stockton.
Yep, I'll be.
But it should be a good series. It sounds like there's a lot of energy of some people making the trip up.
Yeah, I think we're going to go run that whole thing, and then we drive to Chico, we race Chico, and then that night we'll go home and switch out the 360 for the 410. We're going to go race the NARC race at Stockton, which will be we'll definitely probably be tired by then, I would think, but should be fun.
Sure, but enjoying yourself from lots of racing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this can be an unfair question, and by all means, I don't know it can be the right answer. But for you, beyond 2023, what are some things that you would like to accomplish as a driver? Whether it be go to Knoxville, have a stint, have a residency in the Midwest for a summer, anything like that, or perhaps something different that you would like to accomplish in racing.
No, yeah, I think for sure going to Knoxville and Eldora would be pretty cool. And talking just with Dave the other day, we talked and we talked about maybe next year going back and just racing a couple, like local races, just to get my feet wet out there on bigger tracks because we don't have very many big tracks out here. So we figured we'd go out there and try and race a couple tracks and see how we do, and possibly go run with the Knoxville Nationals maybe or something. We don't know. We gotta get some sponsor stuff for that, but we also kind of threw around going all the way to Pennsylvania and trying to run there, or maybe even a Florida trip or something. So there's a lot of opportunities to go and do things, but one of the main things you got to have is money to get there. So we got to find some sponsors to be able to help us get there, and possibly go and race in back east.
Sweet. Well, and you mentioned sponsors. You've got a long list of sponsors, but each and every one of them are near and dear to your heart and special to the race team. And I'd like to just give you the platform to thank them.
No, yeah, I definitely can't thank Gary Silva enough. He gives us a couple motors this year to go run with the NARC Series and 360 stuff, and Air One. He's the one who gave us a nice air conditioner for this heat that we're having this year, and even when it's cold and damn near raining at the racetrack, we got a heater in there too in the race trailer, so that's always nice. And Simpson's giving me great race suits. Simpson Race Products. I can't thank them enough. They're giving me they always got me looking pretty good at the racetrack, even though that's hard to do. And then Quick Car and Guy Morrison Concrete, Bryant Home and Comfort, and Vallejo and Martinez Coin Exchange. Can't thank them. They're helping us out a lot this year with helping us get down the road to all these racetracks and races. Star Property Management. I can't thank Debbie and Dave enough for this opportunity. It's definitely been the best opportunity I've ever had, and it's been fun working with them. I can't believe this is definitely a dream come true. Just year to be able to race for a race team, not my family car. I don't know who else. I'm drawing a blank right now, but anybody else, I can't thank them enough.
Well, and Dave and Debbie Vertulo are super down-to-earth, nice people, and Debbie does such a wonderful job as the sponsor with the fan interaction things that we have for the NARC 410 Sprint Series. That's the foam fingers and the thunder sticks. So cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And very popular, by the way, too. Like it like a mob of small children always at every NARC race is there, and the guys and gals that hand them out as soon as the box is tore open, like the kids are helping them tear the bags open so that they can get one.
No, yeah, I know, it's crazy. Petaluma, there was a mob of them down there by the flag stand. It was crazy. All those kids right there.
Yes, no doubt. Well, Dylan, it has been so wonderful. Is there anything that you want to say or anybody that you want to thank before I let you go for the night?
I think I'm all good. I think thanks to my team and everyone, my mom and dad, Rusty and Rich for all their hard work this year, and Guy Morrison. They're busting their butts every weekend to make sure I'm good to go racing.
Awesome. Well, it's been such a pleasure to get to know you, and for whatever reason, I thought that there was something special about you when I first met you in 2020, because I think that first race you had an incredible run in the main event, and it was like your first or second race in a non-wing sprint car. So I'm glad that we've gotten to become really good friends this summer, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the rest of your career has in store.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate you having me on this, and we'll see you probably at Ocean.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the interview, race fans. Again, be sure and hit like, subscribe, and get the latest and greatest news, whether it's getting up to speed, inside NARC, or sprint car news today. If you subscribe on the YouTube channel, it'll get you those notifications as soon as all the new episodes come out. In the meantime, everybody have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time you're listening, and we'll be back next time with more stuff from Highside Racing Promotions.